I've had MS since 1985. It started off very, very mildly. I used to get a numb little toe, and then I began to get tingles up and down my legs, and then the really big downfall, and all of a sudden my legs buckled under me and I fell to the ground and I completely lost my balance. My head was panic-stricken because I didn't know what was happening to me. I was thinking to myself, I must have some terrible disease. I had to go into hospital for tests, including a lumbar puncture. And after I came home from hospital, because they didn't tell me in hospital what was wrong with me, I had to go back to the consultant, and when he told me the diagnosis, I felt faint. I had to lower my head down to my knees because I was so shocked. The consultant gave me steroids and basically just told me to go home and lead a normal life. He told me there was no cure for multiple sclerosis, and so I felt very frightened that I was just going to go downhill and downhill. That the only thing I could do was try and research MS and find out if there was any possibility at all of getting some kind of treatment privately. So I at the same time, it so happened that I read a book by Judy Graham in which she talked about a Dr. Patrick Kingsley who had a lot of experience of treating people with MS and who had some very good results from it. So I got my husband to take me every few months to go and see Dr. Kingsley, and basically what he did for me was change my diet and also get me to have my mercury fillings removed. I lost my husband, which led to me getting a thyroid problem, and I almost died because I wasn't absorbing all the nutrition. I did recover from that. I demanded physiotherapy while I was in hospital, and I also went for rehabilitation, and I managed to get back to the point where I was before I had the thyroid. It's a terrible thing that my MS started to affect me so badly that I had to have carers coming in to get me up, wash me or shower me, get my dinner, get my tea. I spent many weeks just lying in bed until it was decided I needed even more care. I began to get terrible spasms in my legs, and it was so uncomfortable. I got my doctor in, and he prescribed me 2 different types of antispasmodic drugs. As I was in the depths of despair, it just so happened that a carer mentioned to me she'd seen an article in one of the big papers about a drug made from goat serum that helped people with MS, and it seemed to have some very dramatic results. And so from that point my whole life was spent trying to find out more about this wonder drug. I found more and more articles appearing in the papers about this drug, and then there were 2 programs on local TV. I found out about this drug in the Times and the Daily Mail. I also found out about an organisation called Prevent Us. This was on local TV. I took down Prevent Us telephone number and I made contact with them, and they sent me some papers about themselves. I decided that I needed to become a member of Preventers because I felt very alone, and I wanted somebody to be with me in my fight against MS. I found really that there was no other organisation that could help me. I was desperate, and I managed somehow to get the money together to try Amesbro. I really didn't know what to expect, but 3 weeks after starting Amesbro, one day in bed, I suddenly thought to myself, I wonder if I can raise my legs up and down the bed. And I couldn't believe it when I did it, and I just shouted with joy. I was ecstatic, but I knew I've still got a very, very long way to go. MS is still compromising me very much. I can't ever imagine walking again, but I'm going to try. But it'll be a long, hard helping me. But I need other things to work in conjunction with it, such as physiotherapy and rehabilitation, good nutrition.